Yata, it's a great day to be Native. Today marks the beginning of Native American Heritage Month. While Thanksgiving tends to be the highlight of November and the holiday most closely associated with Native history, Thanksgiving is not the end-all be-all of Native American history. While we love turkey and football, we want to go beyond the festivities of the holiday, because this month is an opportunity for the Indigenous people to share their perspectives at a national level. It serves as a platform to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of Native Americans and their achievements. But before we get into all that, let's take a dive into the origins of Native American Heritage Month. This national recognition of our heritage actually began as a day that was advocated by several individuals and groups as far back as 1914 to 1915. For instance, Red Fox James from the Blackfoot Confederacy traveled from state to state across the country on horseback to gain support for a day designated for Indigenous people. Dr. Arthur C. Parker from the Seneca Nation actually convinced the Boy Scouts to adopt a day dedicated to the first Americans. On behalf of the annual Congress of the American Indian Association, Reverend Sherman Coolidge from the Arapaho tribe issued a proclamation declaring it an American Indian Day in May. These examples go to show that this month actually stemmed from the efforts of Native Americans over a century ago.
Decades after the early 20th century, Congress passed a Senate Joint Resolution in 1986, sponsored by Senator Alan Cranston. It authorized and requested President Ronald Reagan to proclaim an American Indian Week, which he did. Aside from some generalizations about the contributions of Native Americans, the proclamation includes an important statement regarding U.S. tribal relations. We look to the future with the expectation of even stronger tribal governments and lessened federal control over tribal government affairs. We look to a future of development of economic independence and self-sufficiency, and an enhanced government-to-government relationship that will allow greater Indian control of Indian resources. Up until now, we've discussed an annual day and a week acknowledging Native American heritage. But where did the month come from? Well, in 1990, a huge win was secured thanks to Representative Thalia Mavenga, who sponsored a House Joint Resolution authorizing and requesting President George Bush Sr. to proclaim a National American Indian Heritage Month. The joint resolution sponsored by Thalia Mavenga has some great language saying, whereas the people and the government of the United States should be reminded that certain concepts such as freedom of speech, the separation of powers in government, and the balance of power within government, all of which were found in political systems of various American Indian nations, influenced the formulation of the government of the United States of America. And there's this quote, which is relevant to Wade and I on a personal level, that gives reasoning for this month, which encourages activities which provide positive benefits of enhanced self-esteem, pride, and self-awareness to young American Indians.
Ultimately, Native American Heritage Month means whatever we make it out to mean. It can become a time to discuss concrete policy changes for self-determination or funding aimed to revitalize tribal languages. We can develop a deeper understanding of the history of different tribes. While that's important, us natives should also spend time at home with friends and families, including our clan members, asking questions, listening to stories, and at the same time helping with the needs of the community. This is our month. This is our heritage. So let's make it worthwhile.